morning. I'm Mallory Maddox.
And I'm John Nicely. Happening locally, live at 5, Nebraska voters with a chance this November to decide state's death penalty debate. On the ballot, a question to either repeal or retain.
Today, a group of law enforcement officials called on voters to stand by the unicameral's decision abolishing the death penalty. And our John Chapman was there.
It is a very emotional issue. Feelings run deep on both sides when you talk about Nebraska's death penalty. Many people believe the death penalty is necessary for the state's most heinous crimes. Melissa Harris believes the death penalty is necessary. Her 12-year-old daughter Amber was kidnapped, sexually assaulted, and then murdered. Roy Ellis was convicted of this outrageous crime and sentenced to death. Harris believes the death penalty is needed in this case and many others.
People have to pay for their crimes, especially the heinous ones, like with our daughter. So it needs to stay as it was.
Today, a group of current and former law enforcement professionals held a news conference here opposing the death penalty. Current and former police, prosecutors, and judges, many with direct experience in capital cases, met at the Courtyard Marriott in La Vista to speak against capital punishment.
I don't think I have the right to take someone's life any more than the individual who was found guilty. And so I voted against the death penalty.
Many other law enforcement officials, including judges, stood in support of ending the state's death penalty, including former Sarpy County District Court Judge Ronald Reagan. Reagan sentenced John Joubert to death. Joubert was executed in 1996. Reagan says he didn't believe in the death penalty at the time, but he took an oath to follow the letter of the law. Now the former judge says life in prison is a death sentence.
Those sentences that we impose, whether it's a 3-judge panel or an individual judge to life imprisonment, I can indicate, and I think my fellow judges would say the same thing, it's a death penalty. We would like to tell the people, we don't know when you're going to die, but we know where you're going to die, and it's imprisonment.
Debate over the death penalty in Nebraska will most likely continue, even after the election. With photographer Mike Plews, John Chapman, WWT 6 News.
The issue before voters appears a little counterintuitive. A vote to repeal supports reinstating the death penalty by repealing LB 268.
And that's the law passed by the Unicam last year abolishing the death penalty. A vote to retain supports the law that was passed. It upholds the ban on the death penalty.
LB 268 changed the maximum penalty for first-degree murder to life in prison. It was passed in May of 2015, and senators overrode the governor's veto to make it law. And
the death penalty is a huge issue, so we invite you to tune in for a special Brian Master reports Nebraska's death penalty, dead or alive. We're
talking with law enforcement, lawmakers, and experts about the death penalty and the state's decision about the punishment. That is Tuesday night, starting right here at 6:30.